Get quiet and watch what happens. Why you think people run from isolation and silence, nigga? People run from that. Nigga, most motherfuckers don't want to be by themselves in silence, nigga. And meditation takes you there. Meditation, in the beginning, when you try to do it, homie, it ain't comfortable. Because you have to act, you have to go, nigga, to go inside of you. That's where you go find God. And we've been trying to go outside of us. So when you meditate, nigga, and boy, you go to thinking, I start hearing from God in spirit. That's why I ask nigga, what God sound like? They can't tell you. But if you meditate, you can hear it. So because I know what I know, I told that nigga Kanye, I said, nigga, I'm intellectually and spiritually lonely because I can't vibe on this frequency. I can't find this energy in too many places, homie. So I'm spiritually lonely. So yeah. We can't find real niggas that want to go on this journey. It's uncomfortable at first, but man, you can find peace. You can find peace. Yeah, and I'm at peace. Yeah, I'm in peace, but I'm lonely on the journey, homie.
What's good, my Souls of Thought family? It's your boy Norris, and we back for another one. If you made it this far, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to know every time I drop something new, hit that notification button. I want to appreciate everybody who continues to support the channel, regardless of positive or negative comments. We're here for it all. That's what the channel is for us to open up and have conversations about things that other people might not feel like they can have conversations about. With that being said, as you can see, started off with a quick little intro by Charleston White. He was on the Location in Atlanta podcast. We're actually going to review a little bit more of a certain segment of this recording, but I wanted to talk about something first because it really stood out to me. And as you listen to Charleston White state, he's intellectual and spiritually lonely. And man, I was working out, I was doing my little cardio, and I was thinking, like, man, I understand how he feels. This is how I have felt since I started making content. For those who don't know, I used to be on just Spotify, just voice only for years, and I used to just make certain content, and then now I'm finally doing it with the visual and audio, the visual and audio here on YouTube. With that being said, it's nothing like being a black male who thinks different than his peers, who thinks different than the tribes that they're with, or the people who call you their friends, you know. And it made me think of something, and it made me think of this parable that I'm going to read out to you guys. It's not long, it's actually been broken down. It's kind of like a quick synopsis, but it's called the parable of the naked king. I don't know if you guys ever heard this before, but it's the parable of the naked king, and and it's called the Emperor's New Clothes. And I'm gonna give you guys a brief little summary of what this is about. A vain emperor obsessed with fine clothing hires two swindlers who claim they have weave in an extraordinary fabric that is invisible to anyone who is stupid or unfit for their position. The emperor, not wanting to appear foolish, pretends to see the clothes, as do his ministers. When he parades through the city in his new clothes, no one dares to speak the truth, except for a child who blurts out, but he's not wearing anything at all. In this parable, this little story about the emperors and the emperor's new clothes, when this emperor was walking around thinking he was clothed and was really naked, and nobody was willing to tell him the truth except an innocent young kid. And this parable stands out to me because I feel like I'm that young, innocent kid. I'm the person who is now holding my community, my people accountable, and no one wants to hear the truth. Everybody wants to continue to walk around as in they're wearing expensive garbs and that they are just living life to the utmost. And some of the morals of this story, again, I got this on my phone, so I'm actually reading it. It says people often go along with lies or illusions to avoid judgment or exclusion. Truth can be silent by pride, fear, or social pressure, but it often takes the innocent or unfiltered voice, like that of that child, to call it out. And that's what I'm doing on my platform. I'm being that young child who's calling out the truth about Black culture. And I understand that's going to come with terms of Uncle Tom, things of that nature. But the one thing I've learned is that when you start to live your truth and you start to be truthful to who you are, and you start to just take things for not just face value, it's just going to be people who won't rock with you, and that's cool. And some people will rock with you and probably still never agree with you, which is, excuse me, which is cool too. With that being said, I'm okay with being that kid who just exposed the king. But I want you guys to hear a little bit more of what Charleston White has to say, because he talks about this. He talks about finding your tribe. And one of the things that I always wanted to do in life is find my tribe. And I think with my channel, I will eventually find my tribe. So here you go.
Yeah, so I got the spirit through dreams, homie. Being given visions and shit like that. So
I got one. The spiritual conversation you talked about when you talk to Ye, a lot of the conversations are spiritual.
yeah,
And just on a personal journey that I'm on currently, Nikola Tesla says if you want the keys to the universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. And so I'm curious as to your take on spirituality, how you go about accessing it. Do you meditate, things of that nature?
oh yeah, that's you can't access the spirit without meditation. Because the spirit come in thoughts. Feeling is energy. So meditation, homie, it aligns you to enter into the portal to have access to the spirit. Be still, nigga, and get quiet and watch what happens. Why you think people run from isolation and silence, nigga? People run from that. Nigga, most motherfuckers don't want to be by themselves in silence, nigga. And meditation takes you there. Meditation, in the beginning, when you try to do it, homie, it ain't comfortable. Because you have to act, you have to go, nigga, to go inside of you. That's where you go find God. And we've been trying to go outside of us. So when you meditate, nigga, and boy, you go to thinking, I start hearing from God in spirit. That's why I ask nigga, what God sound like? They can't tell you. But if you meditate, you can hear it. So because I know what I know, I told that nigga Kanye, I said, nigga, I'm intellectually and spiritually lonely because I can't vibe on this frequency. I can't find this energy in too many places, homie. So I'm spiritually lonely. So yeah. We can't find real niggas that want to go on this journey. It's uncomfortable at first, but man, you can find peace. You can find peace. Yeah, and I'm at peace. Yeah, I'm in peace, but I'm lonely on the journey, homie. So that's why I'm in the strip club. Yeah, to the time to go to sleep. So when I go to sleep, I can tap into the God when I'm asleep, homie.
That comes. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
Okay, sorry. You believe in it's called a soul tribe. You gotta find your soul tribe. But when you find your soul, the soul tribe find you too.
Yeah, and that's what happens. So people may have heard me say this before. I love Black people. I love my people, but I don't give a fuck about my people. I'm looking for my kind. And my kind is the soul tribe. And how do you recognize your kind? By their actions. By their action. Nigga, certain things your kind just ain't gonna do. So that's how I was able to separate and find my tribe. Yeah, my soul tribe.
So as you see there, Charleston White talks about how you find your soul tribe. And I feel like at my point in my life, that's what I'm searching for. I'm searching for those people who truly not just think the way I think, because everybody can think the way they want to think, but people who truly encourage what you're doing, people who are looking for you to do better, and people who can have honest and open conversations. With that being said, also understanding that we can no longer live in the past. I'm gonna break down more of this podcast for you because it talks about so much more, and I feel like everybody really needs to hear it. But today, I wanted to just talk about finding your soul tribe, making sure that you're okay with being an individual. Make sure that you're okay with who you are. Make sure you're okay standing alone, because there will be moments in your life where you're going to be alone. But I'm gonna tell you, that's what I think the meaning of is lonely at the top. I don't think it has nothing to do with wealth. I don't think it has nothing to do with like your job or what you do. I think being lonely at the top is those people who start to think outside of the box, who thinks for themselves, and start to see life from a different point of view. As you guys know, if you have tuned into my channel, there's a million books out there. But one of the biggest ones is Behold the Pale Horse, and it talks about the government and how they separated us and took the fathers out the home. And I know everybody wants to put that around systemic racism, but that is every race fathers are out the home. The black community, our business is out there because we're the ones who makes the loudest sound. And you're starting to see it. And I just put a video out yesterday about how we as a black community are starting to now create the outcomes for other black individuals, starting with the Carmelo Anthony case. And we don't understand that we have power because we move the ticker, we move the culture, we move everything that's going on. But sometimes it's best to just understand what the truth is and be able to live in your truth. And this video is all about finding your soul tribe. Find those people out there who are like-minded, who want to be around you, people that you don't have to force or be someone that you're not, because that's one thing I will not do. And everybody who knows me, anybody who's around me knows that, hey, I'm gonna call you out. If I feel like it's stupid, you can call me out as well. It's cool. With that being said, it's very lonely at the top. It's very lonely being intellectual thinker. It's very lonely being a black conservative. It's very lonely being a black man in general. And I'm starting to learn that there's nothing that can really help us out. We just have to be okay with it. But when we find our groove, when you find that pocket, as my boy Plug would say, make sure you stay in it, man. And like I said, this video was just a quick video. I wanted you guys to understand that find your tribe. Your tribe is out there. And also earlier in this podcast, Charleston White talks about the power of the phone, the power of content. Get out there and create content. Even if you think that you don't have anything worth saying, say what you have to say. Somebody out there is looking to hear what you have to say. We might not longer be slaves in chains, but we are slaves to technology. Stop being the person who's consuming and be the person who's producing, because eventually someone will consume the things that you produce. YouTube and social media content is a billion-dollar business, and they say in the next 4 to 5 years that will possibly double or triple itself. So there's enough for everyone. And that's why I say find your soul tribe, find those people who think like you think, find those people who support your thoughts, and go from there. And as I leave every video, God loves you, which is most importantly. I love you, you're beautiful, and your boy's out. Let go.